All right, come to a comfortable seat, whether that's up on your knees, cross-legged, or you can even start lying down if that's what you'd like to do. And I just want you to take a deep breath and just let go of everything that you have to do right now. Don't think about your to-do list. Don't think about what you have to do tomorrow, what you have to make for dinner. Just let it all go for right now and just focus on your breathing. As you sit here, start to feel yourself sink into the ground, growing your spine long and tall, rolling your shoulders back, finding that nice neutral spine. And from here, we're just going to roll into a down dog. So pushing firmly through your hands, engaging those large muscles on the side body. Holding here, you can bring some movement into your down dog. If this is your first down dog of the day, you can pedal out your feet, you can sway your hips, let your head hang. Engage your belly. We're holding this for a few more breaths. And then from here, we're going to roll onto our toes and come into a strong, sturdy plank pose. So holding this plank pose, pushing the ground away, engaging your core. Might need to walk your toes back a little bit depending on your anatomy. Holding it for 3, 2, 1, and then you're just going to slowly lower down through chaturanga. Lay down on your mat. Bring your hands by your side, resting on one cheek. From here, we're going to go into a locust pose. So you're going to engage your core. And you're going to really push firmly through the tops of your feet, engaging your legs. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift up. And you can stay right here. Core is engaged. This is a perfectly fine lotus or locust. If you'd like to, you can try and lift one leg or both legs. Core is engaged. Move, kitty. You're still breathing. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Hi. And bring your hands directly under your shoulders. Tuck your toes behind you. Push up through that plank if you can, and back into down dog. Otherwise, you can go through your knees or just come into a down dog however you feel comfortable. Holding this down dog for a few breaths. From here, we're going to walk our feet, keeping our hands planted. You can bend your knees up to the top of your mat, folding forward. Engage your core and lift up into a mountain pose. From our mountain pose, we're going to root down through our right foot, lifting our left foot, bringing it back behind us to a 45-degree angle. Front knee is trying to spin out towards the pinky toes. Arms are up, biceps by the ears or hands at heart center. We're in a warrior 1 position. Step back up into that mountain. And then we're going to root down through that left foot, step our right foot back into a warrior 1. Again, biceps are up by your ears, shoulders are down, knee is spinning up towards that pinky toe. Holding. Try to energetically pull those feet together so you are engaging your inner thighs. And then go ahead and lower your hands down. Step your foot back into a downward facing dog. Holding here for a moment. And then make your way up to a mountain, so you can either walk your feet in, you can step, you can jump, and we're gonna lift up into a mountain again. From here, you can keep your arms up, root down through that right leg, lift your left leg up, and you're gonna step back as far as you can, staying up on those toes. Front leg is at a 90-degree angle. Make sure you're tucking that tailbone a little bit, softening through the spine, holding in this crescent lunge. If you need to bend your knee, you can bend your knee, maybe bend and straighten a little bit, find a comfortable spot. Holding this high lunge. Come down through a downward dog. Hold this downward dog for a moment. Lift your left knee into your chest, step it forward. So back foot work up on our back toes, strong and 90-degree angle in that left leg, lifting up into a high lunge on the opposite side. So again, you can bend your knee here if you need to. That front knee is still trying to spiral out towards your pinky toe. If it's too much to have your arms up, you can bring them down. You can bring them to your heart center. Holding through this high lunge and breathing. Inhaling and exhaling your hands down. Step back to a down dog. We're going to hold it here for 3 breaths. From here, we're going to roll up onto the toes, come into that plank, lower down chaturanga, all the way to your belly. From here, we're going to do some swimmers. So you're going to bring your arms out in front of you, feet, tops of the feet are pushing down into the mat. You can stay here. I don't want you crunching your neck up. Have a nice neutral spine here. And you're going to lift your right arm. If you want, you can lift your left leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Lower them down. Lift your left arm and opposite leg. Lower it down. So inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. You can go as fast or as slow as you want, or you could just lift and not lower down at all. So lift, lower, lift, lower. We're just going to do a few more of these. Breathing and your core is engaged. Last one on the right arm and last one on the left arm. Go ahead and rest here for a moment. And then bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, either push up through that plank, or you can push up through your knees, pushing back into that down dog. Holding here for a couple seconds. On an inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky, bring your knee into your chest, and step it through between your hands. So we're in that high lunge position. Now you're going to spin that back foot down so it's parallel with the back of your mat, engaging through your legs, standing up into a warrior 2, holding strong in this warrior 2. Then you're going to bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers at the small of your back so your palms are touching, and push your arms down if you can, keeping your ribs still knit, core is engaged. And from here, you're just going to fold forward, letting gravity help, bringing your arms up over your shoulders into a humble warrior, pushing that shoulder against your knee, for 2 more breaths, and then we're gonna come back up into that warrior 2. Lift up, release the arms out into a warrior 2 position, looking out over that front hand. And right here is where you might want to grab your block, because we're going to go into a half moon pose. So you can grab your block in your front hand, and then you can step that back foot in a little bit. We're going to come onto that front leg. So that back leg is going to lift up off the ground. So root down into that front foot. You're going to bring your block in your hand to about a 2 o'clock. Bring it down onto the mat. Bring that back leg up. You can flex your foot. My quad is engaged on that standing leg. My arms are open. You can point your toe if you prefer to point your toe. Find a point where you're not going to, where it's not going to move, so you can find your balance. And from here, you can hang onto your block, or if you'd like to, you can try and bring your hand to heart center. Finding that balance. Reaching for your block again. And then slowly bend that front knee, bring that back foot down, back into a warrior 2. You can put your block down, you're gonna need it again. From here, we're gonna do reverse. So front palm up, reaching back. You can use that back leg, let your fingertips touch, or sweep your arms forward. Don't come up out of that knee. Keep that front knee bent. And come back to warrior 2. Straighten that front leg, and then bring those toes forward. So now you're in a standing open A, and from here, go ahead and put your hands on your hips. Your legs are gonna stay exactly where they are. So engage your quads, and then just fold forward. You can use that block to just hold yourself right here, and you can hang out right here. Or you can bring your hand to the ground. So left hand to the block or to the ground, and you're going to twist. So we're going to initiate this from our torso. We're not going to move our hips around. Hips are staying right where they are. So go ahead and open your arm up and reach to the sky, twisting. Core is still engaged. Quads are still engaged. I'm trying to bring my feet together energetically. And come back out of that twist. Right hand down to the mat or the block. And then you're going to initiate this twist from the core and the torso again. So stacking my shoulders and reaching up to the sky. Last breath, release down. You can stay here, or you can just fold forward into that fold. Letting your neck hang, feeling a nice release in the neck. From here, engage your core, come back up to stand, and now those left toes are going to point forward, so back foot is parallel to the mat, bending into that left knee into a warrior 2. So we've already done this on the other side. From here, you're gonna take your hands behind and you're gonna clasp your hands. Now I want you to switch the clasp of your hands. So if your right finger was on top, this time I want your left finger to be on top. Usually it's the one that feels kind of funky. So clasp your fingers together, palms to touch. That front leg, that knee is trying to push out, and we're trying to energetically pull our feet together so you're feeling those thighs engage. And then you're going to take a breath and reach your arms down. And then just fold forward into that humble warrior, shoulder to knee. Where there's contact, there's pressure. You can push your knee against your shoulder, shoulder against your knee. Trying to keep those hips in line. Don't let your butt stick out. Keep it right where it was in that standing position. Holding it for a few more breaths. And inhale, come back up to stand. Release those arms out.
into a warrior two. You can open your palms up if you want to open your shoulders. Breathing here. This is where you might need your block again, so go ahead and reach for your block. Put it in that front hand, holding. We're gonna go into that half moon on the other side. So you can walk your foot in and start to tip, straightening that front leg, bringing that hand now to about a 10 o'clock. Leg is up, straight and long. I don't want it to go higher than my hip. Keep it about hip height. If you want to challenge your gaze, if you're looking down, if you bring your chin to your chest and kind of draw a circle and slowly shift your gaze up to the sky. Ooh. Hold it, core is engaged, leg is strong, point, flex, point your foot, whatever you feel like doing. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bend that front knee and come back into that warrior two. You can put your block down. From here, we're going to go into that reverse warrior. So front knee is still bent. I'm going to tip my palm up and reach back. Or I can reach my back arm forward a little bit here too. Come back to center. Both toes are pointed forward. Come into a forward fold. And just fold here for a minute. You can bring your feet out further or closer together, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're just gonna breathe here for about 5 breaths. On an inhale, roll yourself up and heel toe your feet back together. We're going to do some standing balances here. So if you would like to grab a strap, a belt, a tie, towel, whatever it is that you have, if you would like to use that, now's the time to get it. We're going to root down through our left foot, bringing our right knee into our chest. So my right hip wants to pop up. I'm keeping it level. My core is engaged. So you can hold here, or you can put your hands under your thigh, or you can keep your hands on your hip or to your side, whatever you would like. And from here, I want you to try to straighten your leg out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee back in. We're going to do that again. So hold it here and extend for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. We're still holding this balance. From here, I want you to bring that knee in, and if you want to get the big toe, you can get the big toe, but first I'm going to show you modified, so you can just open your knee to the side and balance here. If you would like, take your 2 peace fingers, grab on to the base of your big toe, bringing your knee up, lengthening your leg out, and then over to the side, arm out to hold you in place, or onto your hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bend your knee, release, stay here. I'm going to turn to the side because from here, we're going to go into a warrior 3. So my hips are still level. From here, I'm going to bring my knee towards my other knee and start to reach it back. And I'm kind of like a pendulum. So I'm going to come forward with my torso, back with my leg, keeping those hips square to the mat. You don't want to go above hip level. If you want to grab your blocks here, you can grab your blocks. This is a good place to hold on, keeping your core engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come out of it. Shake those legs out. Good job. We have to do the other side now. So from here, root down through your right foot, keeping those hips level. Bring your left knee in, and you can hang out right here. Ooh, my balance is a little off right now. So you can hang right here, holding onto your knee, or bringing your hands under your thigh, or Bring them to your hip, and we're gonna extend our legs. So you can stay here or you can extend. We're gonna extend our foot out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee back in. We have to do it one more time, keeping those hips level. Ready? Okay, ready? Extend your leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee back in and stay here. And you can bring your knee into your chest, hanging out here, or you can open it to the side, or if you would like to, take those 2 peace fingers, grab the base of your big toe, standing up tall, extending your leg out and over to the side. You can look over your shoulder for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee back in. I'm going to go to the side again because we're going to go back into that warrior 3. I'll actually show you with blocks this time. Bringing my knee in, and as my leg goes back, my torso comes forward, extending, making sure my hips are level. It wants to pop up. Keep it level to the ground. Holding here. You can put your blocks in a lower setting if you'd like. Core is engaged through here, otherwise you're gonna hurt your low back. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up out of it. Good job, guys. All right. Come to the front of your mat. Get a swig of water if you need it. I need it. From here, I want you to come to have your big toes to touch and a little gap between your heels. Standing nice and tall in this mountain pose. And then we're just going to sit our bums back as if we are in a chair. If you can bring your knees or your thighs to parallel, that's fine. Otherwise, you can hang out here in bar stool, hands to heart center, but you don't want to be curving in that back. You want to find that neutral spine, taking that curve out of the low back. So we are here in chair. We're going to hold this chair for a bit. And we're going to twist in this chair. So your legs are going to start burning. I'm warning you now. So bring your hands to heart center, keeping those knees pressed together. If you would like to take a block and put it between your knees so you can feel that pressure, you may do that. We are going to twist to the left. So initiating from our torso, like when we were in that forward fold, we're going to twist and bring our elbow to our knee, hooking our elbow onto that knee, holding it here, or opening arms up. Drop that butt down a little bit more if you can. Breathing. Bring your hands back to heart center. Come back to center. Don't come up out of that chair unless you absolutely need to. Twist to the left, hooking that elbow onto that knee and twisting. Holding here, or you can open your arms like wings. You can do it. Hang in there. Come back to center and go ahead and fold forward for a moment. You can bring those feet slightly more apart, grab opposite elbow, and hang out in this ragdoll pose for a moment. Whew, those thighs are burning. Good job, guys. Okay, from here, bring your toes to touch again. Come up into a mountain pose. From here, we're going to go into an eagle chair. So an eagle, root down through your left foot, bring your right knee in, and you're just going to cross your leg over as if you're sitting in a chair. So you can stay right here and sit back. If you would like to do full eagle, you're going to take those toes and wrap them around your shin or your calf towards your shin, holding here. Hands at heart center, or you can take eagle arms as well. So you're going to take your arms wide and bring your right arm under your left, crossing at the elbows, meeting your palms to touch. Unravel. We're going to do the other side. So root down through that right foot, left knee crosses over, and you can stay here,
or take the toes around that calf, open your arms, left arm crosses over right, and palms to touch. Trying to bring those elbows into like right in front of your eyes. So lifting them up or lower, finding where that spot is in your shoulders, where you need that stretch. Continuing to breathe. And release. Shake out those legs. Okay. From here, we're gonna come down. Let's see, we'll come down onto our knees. We're gonna come into a funky monkey pose. So you're on your knees and you're gonna bring your right foot forward. And you're just gonna kind of bend into it a little bit. 90-degree angle, taking that sway out of that low back. So tucking your pelvis a little bit so you feel that stretch in the front. From here, we're gonna do a quad stretch before we go into funky monkey. So we'll stay here, and then you can come back a bit. This is gonna be a bit of a balance challenge. So bring that back foot in, and try and bring that heel in to touch your bum. You can stay here, or you can come forward a little bit, really feeling a stretch through that quad. Your hand can stay here on your leg, or you can have a block to your side, or you can bring both arms back, getting a bit of a chest opener as well. Holding and breathing. Go ahead and release that leg. From here, you're gonna take your left hand down to the mat, kind of forward and to the side a little bit. I put my hand kind of on the corner of my mat, and then I'm gonna let my left leg, I'm gonna let my foot open. So my knee is now open to the side. So I'm getting a real good stretch in my front inner thigh. I'm pointing the eye of my elbow forward, pushing down through my hand like I do in down dog, and then I'm gonna take my right hand back, and I can stay right here, or you can bend your knee and try to grab your foot. You can stay right here, or you can push that hand or that foot into your hand, which will then open your chest a little bit more, sink into those hips a little bit more. Twisted monkey or funky monkey. Slowly release that back leg. Come forward. From here, I want you to tuck those toes, spin the back foot down, keeping that hand planted here or on a block or on your knee. You can take this side angle pose right here, holding this nice and strong. Or if you would like to take a bind, take your shoulder to your knee, bring your arm back, reach, try to grab opposite wrist and open through that chest. This is a bound side angle. This is an intense stretch. I'm still pushing actively through my feet, trying to bring my feet close together. Energetically, of course, I'm not going to walk my feet anywhere right now. A few more breaths. And release your hands down. Come back to your knees. Sit for a moment on your heels. Get a nice stretch through those feet. And now we get to do the other side. So come up onto your knees. Bring that front or that left foot forward. You can kind of just move into your hips a little bit here. Taking the sway out of that low back. And I'm going to stay here. My hand is going to stay on my thigh most likely here for balance. I'm going to bend my back knee and grab my back foot. This is where a strap comes in handy. You can put it around your foot. Because if you don't have that shoulder flexibility or that leg flexibility, it'll help you. You can still grab right here. Try to bring that foot, the heel, towards your bum. Oh, feeling that stretch in that right quad. Maybe intensify it a little bit. Breathing here. Slowly release that foot down.
I'm going to take my right hand to the top corner of my mat, and I'm going to let my knee just kind of splay out. Now I'm on the blade of that foot. I'm going to reach my left arm back, grab my foot. You can grab the big toe side. I like to grab my pinky side because then that helps open my chest. I have my elbows pointed forward and I am pushing through my mat. Now I'm going to push my foot into my hand, opening through my chest, sinking down into my hips, looking up to the sky, breathing. My core is still engaged. Slowly release that back foot. Bring your hand down. We're going to do that side angle pose again. So lift back onto that back foot and blade it down to a warrior two. So now you're going to see how it is from the side. So I can come up into my side angle here. Don't want my butt sticking out. I want to bring it down under my hips. So I can be right here in the side angle pose. And this is perfect place to be. If you'd like to take that bind, take that shoulder to your knee, reach around, bend your arm back, grab opposite wrist, and open through your chest. Breathing. Releasing. Coming forward and sitting down. Now, just because we're sitting doesn't mean it's going to get easy. We're going to do something called elephant trunk here. So our legs are forward. Your sits bones are rooted down into the mat. You're going to bend one knee into your chest. And then you're going to bring your arm under it. So you can be right here. And this is good. This is going to stretch enough. You can also come up onto blocks to get a little more height. If you're able to, bring your knee up onto your shoulder, hands down by your bum. Stay here and breathe, or lift up off your bum, and if you can, lift up and lift your leg. Core is engaged, and release. That is not easy. But this is going to help us when we do that arm pressure balance, which we are going to try today. Okay, bend your opposite knee. You can pause and come back and try it as many times as you want. Come up onto blocks, gets you a little bit more height. So you're going to take that left leg and you can just hang out right here, stretching through that hip, or bring your knee up over your shoulder. Hands are planted by your bum, lifting up, pushing through your core, and lifting that leg. And then let yourself down. So feel free to take that as many times as you like, trying that. You can pause it, come back a couple times. From here, we're sitting up nice and tall. I'm not curving in my spine. Again, I have that nice neutral spine. I know it's kind of hard for you to see, but my spine goes straight down. From here, I'm going to just tip back. So I'm up on my toes. You can stay right here. Your core is engaged. It is on fire. You will feel this. So you can stay here, or you can let go. Lengthening your arms out in front of you. Chest is still down, ribs are still knit, core is engaged. You can try lifting one foot, then try lifting the other foot, or you can try lifting both feet. Breathing. We're going to hold this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Feel it? We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to roll to stand. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, leaning back. Either hold under your legs, you can stay here, or you can release your arms out in front. You can try lifting your toes. You can even try extending your legs. I don't know if I can do that today. Oh, legs are shaking. staying here. We'll hold it again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You can do it. 3, 2, 1. Cross your ankles and roll up to stand. We're gonna do side stretch for a little bit here. So come to a mountain, feet are parallel. Go ahead and try and push your feet energetically away from each other. Legs are engaged. Lifting up tall, grab opposite wrist, reaching up tall and stretching to the side. If you can, look under that shoulder, up to the sky, trying to roll that shoulder open a little bit more. Come back to center, grab your right wrist and bring it over to the side for a crescent stretch. Looking past that shoulder. And release. Now we're gonna come back to a seat, so however you wanna sit, if you wanna cross your ankles and slowly sit back down, you can do that, whatever you'd like. We're gonna try that arm pressure pose. So you can have your blocks here behind you for your hands to go on, or you don't need to use blocks. Whichever is good for you, you go ahead and try that. So we're actually, probably shouldn't have had you sit down yet. We're gonna come kind of into a forward fold. So my feet are shoulder width distance apart, and I'm gonna come into that chair. So my chest is resting on my thighs, okay? So I'm sitting here. I'm gonna bring my arms, I'm gonna nestle my arms under my legs. This is where your blocks come in handy. So if you want your blocks, stick them right here. Don't worry about your hands going flat yet. The key is to get your shoulders under knees as much as possible. Hands are directly behind your heels. And as you start to lean your butt back, you're going to lean your chest forward to counterbalance. Holding here and then walking your feet forward and then trying to hook them and pressing those legs, pressing those knees into your arms. That's where it's arm pressure to hold you up. And you can rock here, whew, or you can just release and roll out your wrists. Make sure you roll out your wrists after that pose. Breathing. I'm going to show you this on the blocks here, okay? These are foam blocks. These are a bit squishy. They're probably not the best. If you have wooden blocks or cork blocks or a chunky book, that might work better. Squishy blocks don't give you the firm foundation that you need as much. So I'm gonna put my blocks directly behind my heels, and I am shoulder width distance apart, okay? So I'm gonna fold into it, bring my arms under, really nestle those shoulders under, and I'm gonna put my hands on the block. Oh, that's so much easier with my hands on the block. Hooking your feet together, hanging out here, and you can rock. I've got a lot more height here because I'm up on the blocks. I made it a lot easier. My feet weren't just sticking on the ground. When you're ready, come out of it a little more gracefully than that. I started to tip back. So if you start to tip back, just let go. Roll and roll out your wrists. From here, we're gonna come onto our knees. We're gonna do Gates pose. So we're on our knees, and I'm gonna bring my right leg directly out to the side. Foot is down, parallel to the side of the mat. Lifting my left arm high and bending over to the side. Don't roll forward, stay upright, trying to open that chest. Come back through center, knees together, left leg out to the side, directly out. Right arm up overhead and bend over towards your left leg. Come back to center. from here, we're gonna go into a bridge pose. So bridge pose could be good if you have a block as well, to put the block between your knees so that you hold that pressure. A lot of times we tend to splay our feet out, our knees out. So holding that block between your knees will give you that pressure that you need. Go ahead and roll back onto your back. You're not going to move your neck around in this pose. So your shoulders are flat on the ground. Walk your heels in towards your butt, just close enough so that you can kind of tickle the back of your heels with your fingertips. And from here, so back bends initiate from leg strength, okay? So you're really gonna push through your legs here. So again, if you want that block in between your knees to squeeze your legs and have them properly engaged, feel free to do that. On an inhale, we're going to push through our feet and push up into a bridge. You can stay right here, legs engaged, core engaged, or you can nestle those shoulders under your chest, clasp your hands together underneath you, really pushing through those heels. So now the pressure is on my shoulders and my heels. Make sure you're not crunching your chin into your neck. Go ahead and gently move your shoulders out and roll back down, giving yourself a hug, counter stretch. You can feel free to take that bridge again, or if wheel is in your practice, you can do a wheel. I'm gonna try a wheel today. Wheels are not my strength, but I'm working on them. So I'm actually gonna use a block for this one. So I'm gonna put a block between my knees, all right? Fingertips can graze the back of my heels, and I'm first going to go into a bridge. So I'm gonna push through my heels, lifting up my hips. Pressure is in my shoulders and my heels. So now I'm gonna bring my hands up. Fingertips are going to be brushing my shoulders, and my elbows are pointed up. And I can lift up to the crown of my head, and then lift up into a wheel pose. The goal here is to straighten your arms. Hold it. Gently lower back down onto your shoulders, and then one vertebrae at a time. Remove that block. Bring your knees into your chest and roll side to side. Good job, guys. We're gonna do a few stretches here, and then we'll go into our final resting pose. So go ahead and hug your right knee in, left leg out, and bring your right knee across your chest. Shoulders are still flat on the mat. Extending your right arm out and looking over that shoulder. Oh, this feels good after that back bend. Bring that right knee back in, left knee in, hug yourself. Extend that right leg out long, left knee across your body, left arm out long, looking over your shoulder, feeling a nice twist in your spine. You can have your eyes open or closed here. Bring your knee back into your chest. Hug your knees into your chest. We're gonna roll up for a second here. So rolling up. You're gonna cross, let's see. So bring your left knee down, or you can bring it out straight, whatever feels comfortable. So maybe start with it straight. Bring your right ankle, or right heel over onto the opposite side of that knee. So then you can bend that leg in here now if you'd like to. Sitting up nice and tall, right arm comes up, hook your elbow onto your knee and gently twist. Looking over that right shoulder. Sits bones are rooted down into the mat. Sitting up nice and tall. Come back to center. Now we're going to do a fun transition here. So you're going to lift up, twist around, and now your right leg is over your left, and your left leg is bent down. So if you need to come back to leg straight, go ahead and straighten your right leg out, bring your left leg over your right, bend your knee in, right arm up, hook it onto your elbow, sitting up tall and twisting towards the back. That knee wants to come up, try and push it down. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Go ahead and release. Bring both legs out long, straight and strong, sitting on your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall, keeping that curve out of that low back. Flex your toes. Try and bring your toes to your face so your legs are engaged. Hands are down by your side. This is called staff pose. We're going to hold this for a moment. Inhale and exhale, fold into it. So you can fold here and hang out here, or you can fold further. Once you're in your comfortable place, you can go ahead and round into it. So fold as far forward as you feel comfortable and then round into it. And we're going to hold it for 5 breaths. Nice and tall. If there are any other stretches you'd like to take, feel comfortable to take them. Otherwise, go ahead and put a nice little bend in your knees, and then rolling down with control all the way onto your back. Let your feet go floppy. Hands down by your side, palms facing up. Let your body melt into the mat. And let go of your breath. Don't think about it, just breathe. Long sigh out. Softening your eyes. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Softening your lips, maybe let them part a little bit. We're just going to take a few moments here in this Shavasana pose. Feeling grateful for the practice we just completed. Grateful for the gift to be able to move our bodies and sync our breath with our movements. Feel free to stop the video here and take a Shavasana for as long as you would like. Otherwise, go ahead and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rolling your ankles and your wrists, bringing life back into your body. Reaching your arms up overhead, pointing your toes, reaching, strengthening, lengthening as far as you can, and then hug yourself into a ball. Rolling over to one side, keeping your eyes closed. Maybe using your arm as a pillow in this fetal position. Eyes are still closed, and as you're ready, go ahead and push yourself up into a comfortable seat at the center of your mat. Sitting nice and tall, hands or palms down on your knees. Inhale your arms up and exhale them down by your side. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up one more time. Bring palms to touch, bring them down between your eyebrows, touch your lips, bring your hands to heart center, bow your head in gratitude for this practice and taking kindness out with you today. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you feel great. Let me know if there's anything that you need help with, and thanks for joining me.